is a creator that y'all might not be familiar with, but I liked what he was saying when just off rip, just asking the question about, are men in both men and women chasing the top 1%? Okay, so let's get into it. Let's watch the first one.
Hypergamous. Men are also hypergamous, but in a different way. Men are hypergamous when it comes to physical attractiveness. So men will want to choose a woman who's at least his level of attractiveness, ideally more attractive than him. Women want men who are more successful than them, and men want women who are more attractive than him. And we see this play out all the time. So yes, while it is true that women are hypergamous, men are also hypergamous, but in a different way. Men are hypergamous when it comes to physical attractiveness. So men will want to choose a woman who's at least his level of attractiveness, ideally more attractive than him. Women want men who are more successful than them, and men want women who are more attractive than him.
All right, so that's his perspective on that. I'm gonna definitely first we got to go with definitions, y'all. When I was in school, we always had to define. So we're gonna be defining tonight, and I did a lot of research on this topic, y'all, because I'm very, I don't know, I'm super interested in this type of stuff. So I'm like a weirdo. But hypergamy is the practice of dating or marrying someone of a higher social status or sexual capital than oneself. Hypergamy is the practice of dating or marrying someone of a higher social status or sexual capital than oneself. Okay, so that's the definition of hypergamy. Here's where we're going with this one. Okay, so this particular guy, although a lesser known YouTube creator, basically stated, hey, listen, yes, okay, men are hypergamous too. They're looking for someone who has a higher sexual capital than themselves, meaning someone more attractive. Whereas women are looking for more social status, more women are looking for like somebody who has, I mean, we can go with the Kevin Samuels definition, somebody who has a higher status, finances, provider, all that stuff. Women are looking for that type of package. Men are just looking for someone who has a higher sexual capital. I think we have, especially in the YouTube space, we've seen a lot of men just say, oh, it's women that are hypergamous. But I found in dating and I found in even coaching men and women that men are just as hypergamous in a way. Okay, I've met men that because of the fact that their financial capital is up, they're looking for the finest thing that they can pull. All right. And what I've learned is that men are going to shoot their shot. Well, some men, not all men, but some men are going to shoot their shot at whatever they think is fine. Because apparently, because I was watching this other video today, y'all, from a different YouTube creator, which I'm not going to shout their names out because I'm not that type of channel. But this particular YouTube creator was like, men are, he was saying that certain men, they are trying to give advice and their wife ain't even fine. And I was like, see, this is what we're talking about. Men judge you off of what your wife look like. They judge you off of the presentation of who you're with. They really, really do. So guys that are with women that maybe are not seen as desirable, or women that are not seen as, or unfortunately, they have a bad reputation, whatever that may be, men are being judged off of the woman that they decide to choose. Just like women are being judged but off of the man that they decide to choose, right? And so with this rise of hypergamy, I think that more men, in my experience, what I am seeing is more men that may not necessarily qualify for the top 1% of women, which we're going to define the top 1% of women, because I've seen men define the top 1% of men, which they're saying over 6 feet, makes over 100K. That was pretty much it. I saw that was the two things that men are using is the top 1% is the height and the height and the amount of money that that man makes. Arguably, I can understand the height thing, but like, I don't think women are like necessarily looking. I mean, that's a lie. Women do look at height, but if you're 5'11" versus 6 foot, I don't think that that matters that much. Okay, short. I feel like short men can get the short end of the stick, and I don't mean no harm in saying it that way, but I do think that shorter men have a harder time getting women because just I don't know why. Of course, it just is what it is. However, I don't think when we're talking about top 1% of women or men, I don't think women are looking at men like, oh, they make over $100,000. That means that they are the top 1% of men. I think women, when they're looking for guys and they're putting them in the top 1%, they're talking about millionaires, right? So if a guy is a millionaire and he's short, they probably gonna give him a shot. Let's be real. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Let's make it plain. Let's make it plain. Now, unless women have options of millionaires that are tall, a lot of women will give that man a shot if he was a successful the package. Again, women look at packages. Okay, so when I hear men saying I'm over, I heard a video where a guy was stating because he was over 6 feet tall and he made over $100,000 that he's the top 1% guy. And I can understand his perspective. However, me looking at him, I probably wouldn't put him in the top 1%. I don't know exactly, like, this top 1% is different for different people, right? What everybody's looking for is what is different. Okay. That's my whole point. Some women don't care about your height if you're a successful man. Some women do care about your height and could care less if you're successful. Everybody is different with their criteria. Okay, that's my point. A lot of people say, oh, you just got to have money, you got to have status, you got to have this. That's not necessarily true, because you could be a man that might be tall, might have money, might have status, and your person still leave you. Right? It's just real. It's just real. You got to have character to back it up. I've always said that I felt like the definition was missing, or the characteristics that were missing was the fact that a man has to have some type of character, some type of swag, some type of energy as well. You can't just be, I got money and I'm tall and you just gonna keep everyone. No, you don't. You might get women, but you ain't keeping them. So there's a lot of men that I meet a lot of times, y'all, just being honest, that think that they that thing, whether because they got money or because they got whatever they got going on. And to me, no, like top 1%er men to me is when your character is right, when I feel like you a solid individual. That to me makes me feel like you a top 1%. When you have some emotional intellect, you're not just thinking shallow, you thinking deep. Okay. I love men that think deeper than what we see on television or what the media tells us. I love that. That's a very attractive quality to me. Right. And so when men don't have that there's also men that feel like, you know what, I'm that guy, so I ain't gotta, you gotta make it work for me. You gotta do this for me. And I here's the thing, I'm good about relationships being, where, yeah, I'm gonna have to give a little bit. I'm gonna have to do some things for you, but it can't be a one-way street, right? Not for me anyway. I won't be happy. I will not be fulfilled in a relationship with a man who refuses to meet me halfway. I'm just not gonna be happy. It's not gonna be a relationship for me. I don't care what you got. I don't care what you got going on. If you're not willing to fight with me and make changes with me, it's not gonna work. Because I need somebody it's a teammate. It's a team situation. Somebody who's able to play is a team player. A lot of people think, oh, well, I'm just that dude, so I don't have to play on nobody's team. Well, you will be by yourself. You might have a woman for a while, but then she's going to go to somebody else. I'm just being honest. I'm keeping it real. She gonna be with you for as long as you up, and then when you down, she not gonna be with you. When everybody is not, disrespecting your name or whatever the case may be, if she finds a better situation, she's out of there. There's a certain energy. I feel like men that have real power, they don't have to speak on the power that they have. Right? They just have power. They don't have to, oh, I'm here. Welcome. It's me. It's like, no, we know who you are. You ain't got to tell us nothing. I feel your energy when you walked up in the room. I'm attracted to men like that. I like when somebody, I remember I was communicating with somebody before, and they're like, man, you like powerful men. I like powerful energy. I like that. I like power. They don't have to necessarily be powerful men, but there's a power, there's a masculine energy that I'm very attracted to. That I know I can't run it. I can't run them. I'm attracted to the men I can't run. I like them. That's the ones I tend to be, have continued to be attracted to. It's like a strong man that I feel like will have my back. That's always been my thing. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I think that for me, some of the characteristics that we say are top 1%er of men, I disagree with because it's not bringing into account a man's character. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become Framily, okay? Friends that are family, okay? Join my Framily today.